everybody, this is the Wikstrand. So, when it comes to the old classic Universal horror movies that came in the 1930s, you know, your Dracula, your Frankenstein, your Bride of Frankenstein, your Wolfman and the Mummy and stuff like that. One movie is usually sort of left out of this little bunch. That is the Invisble Man from 1933, which is a little bit of a shame because it is the best of the bunch. Lots of this has to be attributed to Claude Rains, who is one of my favorite actors from this era of Hollywood. I mean, you're mostly familiar with him probably from Casablanca or Notorious, but this is a pretty damn good performance also. The question is though, is this the best version of the Invisble Man? How does it stack up against, you know, the multiple versions of this story that has been made over the years? That's what we're gonna find out in this little review. This is a review of the Invisble Man. A small village in Britain has gotten itself an unusual visitor, a man covered up with bandages and you know, dark glasses to conceive his eyes, and he is conducting experiments and he doesn't want to be disturbed, but the people are a bit suspicious of what he's doing and he's making a mess of things and stuff like that, but things get out of hand and the man flees into the countryside. He is of course Dr. Jack Griffin, played by Claude Rains. He is a scientist who has accidentally caused himself to be invisible, and now he is trying to find a cure for the invisibility thing and, you know, trying to be visible again. The thing is that his ability to be unseen by anybody has led him to become a little bit of a maniac and drunk with power. And now he wants to hurt people and dominate and stuff like that. So will he be able to be stopped? And what's his ultimate plan? And will he be visible again? And is there a way of, you know, saving him from the madness and stuff like that? Can his fiancée be of some assistance? Well, that's what we're gonna find out in this movie. So one thing I really like about this movie is that it really focuses on the villain of this movie, because whatever sympathies you might have for Jack is snuffed out pretty fast when he starts doing evil stuff, and I like the fact that he's both a victim and a perpetrator at the same time, and it's Claude Rains' strength to be able to make this character work so well, even though I would have liked to see like a 10-15 minute you know, sequence of what it was like before he turned invisible, so that we could have more of a, you know, character's journey for him. But I guess that they didn't have time to do that because this movie moves so fast, and Universal said that, well, we need to get this thing in under an hour and 11 minutes, so we cannot have those sorts of things. It's a little bit of a shame, but I just feel like the movie could have been stronger anyway. So the thing with this movie is that the special effects have aged somewhat, but there are sequences in this movie that made me go, how the hell did they do that? Rains is fantastic, and we have a really good gallery of side characters that are interesting, and one thing this movie does very, very well is that it acknowledges the limitations of what it's like being invisible, and they create these set of rules for itself that this movie cannot break. And whenever, you know, you do stuff like that, you immediately realizes that there are no sequences in this movie that make you go, hey, how the hell did he do that? And how the hell did he, you know, were able to do this thing or that thing just because he's invisible? That is something I really, really appreciated this movie to do. Also thought this movie was kind of scary in that way that you don't know where he is and you don't know what he's going to do next, and his erratic behavior drives this movie in a very, very good way. It's a very compact movie, it is very focused, but in my opinion it is still not the best version of the Invisble Man. My favorite Invisble Man movie is the 2020 version. It has similarities, but it is a different experience, and I can understand why people would prefer this movie, you know, compared to that movie. But that movie was also an excellent movie in my opinion, and if you have never seen any of these movies, I recommend both of them. The 2020 version might be a slight bit better, but it is a far superior movie, both of them, to Hollow Man and Memoirs of the Invisible Man that came with Chevy Chase in the 90s. Not, you know, terrible movies or anything like that, but they lacked something. The Invisible Man is a classic that absolutely holds up, and there are sequences in this movie I think is really great and brilliant. It is one of the best movies of the 1930s, and in my opinion a classic that really holds up, as I said, and if you have a chance to see it, do see it. The Invisible Man gets a solid 80 points. There are, you know, some things that's aged somewhat, but surprisingly enough, most of it has not. And the characters are so interesting and so fascinating, and I really like the ending. With good acting, good writing, and a little sparkle of old Hollywood magic, they have been able to create a movie that actually stands the test of time. So which version of The Invisible Man is your favorite? Comment below and I'll see you next time for, well, so-and-so reviewing, well, such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.